Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Greg Bolden. I'm with the Center for Black Health and Equity. And this morning, we're having a press conference to dispel some of the misinformation that's going forth about the FDA, the proposed FDA ruling on the elimination of menthol in cigarettes and little cigars. Today, we have, that have come out today, a number of experts that will be testifying, that will be providing valuable information that we can actually utilize and take back to our families and friends. That's true information and it's not conjecture. What we have today is we have with us is Jalissa Kelly. She's with the H.E.A.R.T Coalition. We have the newly elected president of the National Medical Association, Dr. Garfield Clooney. We also have our world-famous hip-hop doc, who's not local to the Atlanta area, Dr. M.J. Collier. And we have Dr. Mark Mitchell, and who's with the NMA. I forgot to say Dr. Collier is also with the Georgia State Medical Association. And we have Ms. Carol Magruder, with the African American Tobacco Leadership Council. And Dr. Mark Mitchell and Dr. Carol Magruder with the NLA were one of the two organizations that actually filed suit against the FDA to get them to move on this process. So many of you may remember that on April 29th of 2021, the FDA made an announcement that they would be working on making a proposed ruling to eliminate menthol from cigarettes and little cigars. On April 28th of this year, they actually put out the proposed ruling. And the comment period, the community and the public comment period is now running until August the 2nd. And you can go to the FDA or you can go to our website, the Center for Black Health and Equity, and scroll down. And you can actually, we're going to encourage you to actually put in comments, your own personal comments about how you feel and what you think about the FDA ruling. We have to remember that each year 45,000 African Americans die each year from tobacco use, and we know that about 85% of African American smokers use menthol cigarettes. We have been targeted for over 60 years, and it's not by happenstance, but we were targeted for the last 60 years, and now we're saying that we're going to fight back, and we're going to finish the fight, and we're going to move forward with the elimination of menthol in our communities and save Black lives. Now I'm going to move on to Ms. Jalissa Kelly with the H.E.A.R.T Coalition.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Dr. Greg. My name is Jalissa Kelly. I'm with the H.E.A.R.T Coalition. H.E.A.R.T Coalition stands for Health, Education, Awareness, and Research on Tobacco. We've been in the community for the past 25 years, being able to address tobacco concerns, whether through environmental and policy changes. In the year 2020, we birthed the No Menthol Movement ATL Coalition. This initiative specifically is to address menthol and flavored tobaccos in our community. We are partnered with organizations to dispel the disinformation regarding the proposed FDA ban. The FDA ban governs the manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. It does not govern the possessions of the individuals of the product. We want to make sure that we are dispelling the disinformation regarding the ban and being able to reach our community, specifically Black and brown communities that are being impacted by menthol. Menthol is easier to start smoking and it's very, very hard to quit. So we've taken the stance to make sure that we're addressing health equity across the state of Georgia. And today I have some of the medical professionals that are able to discuss how this ban will further address health equity for all. Thank you. And I will be passing the mic on to Dr. Clooney.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Garfield Clooney. I am not quite the president yet of the National Medical Association. I'm president-elect, but will be going to office this coming week. The National Medical Association, actually founded here in Atlanta in 1895, is an organization that promotes health and wellness, as well as elimination of disparities through education, advocacy, which is what we're all doing here today. I can't think of a better cause right now other than talking about smoking cessation and eliminating this in our community. Because as a physician, I know that as an obstetrician, I know that it affects my patients directly in that women who smoke who use tobacco have a higher chance of preterm deliveries, small for gestational weight babies, as well as those newborns who have moms who smoke and are exposed to smoke. They have higher incidence of death from SIDS. And so this is a very important issue, and I think that the elimination of menthol, which is one of the culprits that increases the chance that people initiate smoking and continue smoking and find it difficult to stop smoking, is a very important issue. So I stand with our partners here tonight to support this morning to support this issue wholeheartedly. This is very near and dear to the heart of the National Medical Association. We throw out support behind you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. M.J. Collier, Atlanta's own hip-hop doc, heard locally and across the country on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. I'm the medical consultant. I'm here today with the National Medical Association. We're here with the Walk a Mile with a Child initiative, where we're teaching young people how to do non-skilled athletic activities so they can lose weight. But as a part of that, we're here today to talk about smoking, anti-smoking. We are supporting heavily the FDA's ban on menthol cigarettes. I have a very compelling story to tell about that. My mother was a 4-pack to 5-pack per day smoker. She was addicted to menthol cigarettes, didn't like regular cigarettes. They were too harsh for her, but there was a brand that was developed during her lifetime that she became addicted to. She would literally light one cigarette in the morning, light the next cigarette from that cigarette. She had gotten so addicted to the menthol cigarettes that she couldn't sleep overnight. She'd have to wake up because she'd be going through nicotine withdrawal. Wake up, smoke for 30 minutes to an hour, and then go back to bed. Now, during that period of time, and that's toward the end of her life, she developed throat cancer as a direct result of her 4 to 5 pack per day smoking habit. So I have lived this. I have saw that having menthol added to a cigarette increases the addiction possibility, increases the desire for people to smoke, and that's why we're supporting the FDA ban on menthol cigarettes. Again, there's a disinformation campaign that you may have heard on your local radio stations, the television stations, is being marketed heavily about criminalization of people. If the FDA creates this ban, that people that are found with menthol cigarettes will be affected, particularly in the African American community. That is a true myth. We want to dispel it right now. There's no criminalization associated with this FDA ban. We're just trying to get people to stop smoking these cigarettes. We're trying to get them to stop smoking all cigarettes, but we definitely know that adding menthol to the cigarettes and the small cigars increases the desire and the palatability for people who might make another decision if the cigarette smoking was as harsh as traditional cigarette smoking is. So, joining with the National Medical Association, the Georgia State Medical Association, the Atlanta Medical Association, and you, we want to end this and support the FDA ban on menthol in cigarettes. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Dr. Collier. My name is Dr. Mark Mitchell. I am with the National Medical Association, and I've been working anti-tobacco for more than 30 years. The tobacco industry has targeted African Americans over the last 60 years, and we as Black physicians are very concerned about this. That's why we joined a lawsuit to sue the Food and Drug Administration to try to get them to ban menthol in cigarettes. As our previous speaker said, 85% of African Americans who smoke menthol cigarettes. And this leads to 480,000, cigarette smoking leads to 480,000 deaths per year in all Americans. But in African Americans, we represent 45,000 premature deaths every year. You know, that's our mothers, fathers, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, brothers and sisters who are dying, who do not need to die because of menthol, because of cigarettes. Cigarette smoking is the #1 preventable cause of death in the African American community. It not only causes cancer, it also contributes to heart disease, strokes, and in fact, there are 45 million cases of cancer, stroke, COPD, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease or heart disease that are caused by smoking. So, and in fact, 2/3 of African American children live in households where somebody smokes, which is twice the rate of white children. Only 1/3 of white children live in households that smoke. And we know that menthol increases the likelihood of children starting smoking before the age of 18. And it also increases the difficulty in stopping smoking of adults. That's why this proposed ban, the proposed FDA ban will save Black lives. The proposed FDA ban will prevent children from becoming addicted and will help adults to quit smoking. So that's why the National Medical Association is such a strong supporter of the proposed FDA rules to ban menthol cigarettes and to ban all flavors of cigars and little cigars. Thank you. And so next I will pass it to Carol.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. Hi, good morning, good afternoon. Yes, I'm Carol Magruder, and I'm one of the co-chairs of the African American Tobacco Control Leadership Council. And we have been at the head of the national fight to get mentholated tobacco products off the market. And because everything in our country has an overlay of race, so does the use of tobacco. Suddenly, people care about what African Americans want, that we want menthol cigarettes. There's a reason why Black people smoke mentholated products, and that's because the tobacco industry, and I would call them the tobacco industry cartel, seeded our community and continues to seed it, giving away products to children as young as 9 years old, like Marie Evans in Boston, who died at 54, giving away cigarettes to people like Dave Chappelle, who at the age of 14 was given free cigarettes at the metro station in Washington, D.C. And that's the legacy that we have right now. And so as we have been successful or moving towards success in our efforts, because we sued the FDA for their inaction on menthol when they were mandated to do something when the Tobacco Control Act was signed in 2009. And we sued the FDA along with our co-plaintiffs, the National Medical Association, the Action on Smoking on Health, and the American Medical Association, to compel the FDA to do something. And so now they have moved. And now the industry, the tobacco industry cartel, are paying leaders, clergy, elected officials across this country to fight us and to say what we're doing is going to increase police interaction with our people, it's going to increase a Black market, and that has yet to be proved. Now, we do have an issue, which we all know, with the policing of Black bodies in this country. I just am fresh from attending the Social Justice Summit in New York City that Jay-Z and Rock Nation put on. So Saturday, I spent the whole day with panels back to back talking about this issue. So we know it's an issue. I was down here during the Ahmaud Arbery incident. We saw George Floyd. And so while we used to tell our boys, if the police stop you, put your hand on the steering wheel, say yes, sir. But with social media and video, we know that it's a lot worse than that. We know we have a reckoning. But we will not allow the tobacco industry to ride on our pain, our righteous pain and fear, and the need to deal with our criminal justice system in this country. And we say we must do both things at the same time. It's not either or. It's not if and then. It's all of the above. And it's right now. It's not tomorrow. We can't wait for justice. This is health justice. This is health equity justice. We asked our people who take checks from people like Jorge Arroyo, from Vern Myers, from James Murphy. Those are executives of Reynolds American Tobacco, that's Newport Cigarettes. If you're taking a check from them, you need to stand down and you need to stand with your people. And you need to tell the FDA, take these products off the market, but give our people some extra services, give them the attention that the tobacco industry gave us for the past 40 or 50 years. Deal with our stress, deal with institutional racism and the intersection that has with the addiction to nicotine, which people feel that it soothes their nerves from some of the things, some of the injustices that we face. So we stand here. We are so proud that the NMA is standing with us, our Black doctors. And I ask, who are you going to believe, our Black doctors or the tobacco industry cartel? We talk about first responders. Our Black doctors are our first responders, and they're our last responders because they see the carnage. They walk our people through the steps as they amputate toes and legs from our smokers who are diabetic. They walk our people through all of the strokes, through the lung cancer. More women die from lung cancer than breast cancer, and that's because of cigarettes. They walk us through that. They hold our hand all the way through that process. Our Black ministers, they are officiate at the funerals of the 45,000 Black people that die every year in this country. 1 million Black people in the past 20 years. And so yes, we must deal with our criminal system in this country, which many of the things that are happening are directly related to slavery. It's Jim Crow, the chain gang. Yes, that's real, that's true. And so we ask our Black elected officials who take money from the tobacco industry cartel, who are federally adjudicated racketeers like the mafia, go back and clean up the police departments. Get your friends, get your tobacco industry dollars, get them to clean up and deal with these police unions that block accountability for the police people that kill our people. So we need reform on all counts. And our side of the street is this one. And we want the folks on the other side of the street. We don't want to fight each other. But you will not continue to take money from the industry that has killed 1 million Black people, that the only way they can survive is to recruit another generation of smokers because they kill their customers. And we just heard from this brother whose mother smoked 4 packs a day. We all can look at our family. Just as we can look at our family, I can look at my family, and I have people involved in the criminal justice system. I visited jail, but we all can look at our family. We can see the people who aren't here or who have a diminished quality of life because of tobacco-induced diseases and morbidity. So we're here to say this is it. We want everybody on the same, rowing in the same direction. We want our leaders to demand that the FDA take menthol off the market to continue the rulemaking process. But if you want to insert yourself in the process, demand services. The family of Marie Evans, they sued the tobacco industry. They sued Newport and they received $79 million in Boston. How many dollars is our community, how much do we deserve for the 1 million people we've lost in the past 20 years? And so fight for that, for health reparations. And we have a place now to put it, the Center for Black Health and Equity, who is doing work all over this country. So we have a place to put that money to deal with this seeding, this destruction, this addiction that we have, that the tobacco industry has been there with a steady drumbeat through all of our issues, through all of our problems. And now they want to help us by keeping the product that kills the most of us on the market. We say, hell no, hell no. This is the year of no menthol. We're hosting a conference in Washington, D.C., September 28th through 30th. Our website is savingblacklives.org. Before Black Lives Matter, we were saving Black lives. Please go to our website, sign up and get the information. Please join us in this fight. Smokers, we love you. Most smokers want to quit. We are here to help you. We are here to hold your hand through this process because we know you're addicted. We know you don't want to continue killing yourself. We need you alive. Your families need you alive. Our Black community needs you. And we're here to hold your hand through that process as well. Thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you for everyone who came out today. And I would be remiss if I did not thank those who are sponsoring this. Some of them could not be here today, but let me start out with the National Medical Association, who are here doing a national conference, the Georgia State Medical Association, the Atlanta Medical Association, the African American Tobacco Control Leadership Council, the H.E.A.R.T Coalition, Parents Against Vaping, American Cancer Society and Cancer Action Network, Entertainers Speak Out, the Atlanta Blues Society, all joining in with the Center for Black Health and Equity. And I would like to encourage you, go to the FDA website and go to the Center for Black Health and Equity's website, the Center for Black Health, and actually add comments until August the 2nd so that you can have your voice heard. let me just state emphatically, we are not against smokers. Smokers are not our enemies. We are fighting against the tobacco industry. And this ruling that they actually put out, just like Lisa said, will not affect individuals. It does not affect individuals. I can't say that loud enough and often enough. It's against the distributors, the manufacturers, and the retailers. And it will not create a black market. There are over 145 municipalities that have passed menthol and other flavored restrictions. There are 35 countries that have actually restricted menthol nationwide. This will not affect you individually. So the lies have been told, and we're here to dispel that disinformation and move forward. We thank you again for coming out and being a part of this press conference.